Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here then hello, welcome. So today we're back in my little area where we sit, have a chat, and yeah, we are doing a boy/girl talk today. A little bit of a mixture. I obviously done my makeup and catch up video the other day, Thursday, no. This is Thursday, this is going up. Tuesday, it went up, and obviously I asked him that and people were very keen. So I asked over my Instagram some questions from you, and we're just gonna have a sit down, little chat. It's been a while, so if you wanna keep on watching, please like this video, subscribe, turn that notification bell on, and yeah, let's get into boy talk/girl talk. Right. Okay, let's have a little look at what you've sent me in, okay? Right, so let's start with something light-hearted. Let's not go too crazy just yet. So someone said, what's your perfect first date with someone? Now, I feel like it depends, because currently at the moment, like, I would say, like, my idea of a date is like very different. I think that's obviously because where I have just come out of something that's so serious, like I've been in a long relationship. So like now I'm not looking for anything really. Like I want to enjoy this time to be on my own. Like I've never really been on my own, so I'm not dating, but like obviously I would be open to go on a date, but like in a way that it's just like fun, like just to go spend some time together, getting to know someone, but like I'm not looking for anything serious. So like in my eyes, like a date, it would have to, right now it would have to be something fun, like light-hearted. Like I don't really want to like be sitting and have a full-blown meal like all serious, do you know what I mean? Like I feel like if you're getting along with someone and like you want to spend some one-on-one time and go on like a date, like I'm open to that, but like right now I'm not looking for anything, so I wouldn't want the date to be too serious. So yeah, like my perfect first date right now, it would be something fun. Even in general, I'm very much that like I don't need like the fancy massive date, do you know what I mean? Like I feel like a date in itself is so much pressure, especially for me at the moment. Like I haven't been on a date in so long that like that's pressure enough for me. Like I don't need a massive like well-to-do thing that would add more pressure, like a romantic posh meal, because like then I would just think, oh my god, this is too much pressure and I wouldn't be able to handle it. So something just light-hearted, like going out for a few drinks, just like having some fun, that would be my ideal date. And I feel like as well at the moment, like if I was to go on a date, it would have to be like someone that I know, someone that I've been in like a group setting with, and then taking it one-to-one. Like I wouldn't want to be going on like a dating date or like someone like I completely don't know. Like that's just too much pressure right now, and obviously like I said, I'm not looking for anything, so like I just think it would be a bit pointless. But if I've been in a group setting with someone and we're getting along and we want to just like go out just us two, then I feel like that's a little bit different, do you know what I mean? I feel like I'm easy, like you got to ease your way into it, do you know? Like it's been a while, and it's really important for me to like not let people know, like shout from the rooftops, but like obviously if someone is interested, like letting them know that I'm very open in the fact that like I'm not looking for anything serious, like blah blah blah. They know that I've just come out of a 5-year relationship, because like I think if you said that to anyone, I think they'd understand that you're not looking for anything serious, do you know what I mean? So that's also like another big thing with like the dating thing. Obviously we've got the cliche that everyone like always asks, like how to get over a breakup, like what are your tips? And obviously this depends on the breakup and why you broke up and whose like what decision it was. Obviously breakups are always hard, don't get me wrong, but it's gonna be a lot harder if you didn't want that breakup or like something massive happened. But I still think the same sort of things apply. So like for me, I'd say just like really taking this time to like focus on myself, just keeping busy. Like I've obviously been going to the gym, putting all my efforts into work. Well, I'm trying when I'm not out doing things, but keeping busy. Obviously I feel like with me, and like it just sort of fell into place that obviously my 2 friends are both single as well, and I think that really helped. and like it's a running joke. Well, like it's not. So I've got a bit of a cough, so yeah, like it's not funny, but it is a bit of a joke, running joke, like, because obviously my friend becomes single, and then it was a big gap. It was 5 months and then I become single, but like everyone's like, oh, what, did you do it together, like did you plan it, blah blah blah. And obviously that is not the case at all. I think I would be insane to break up a 5-year relationship because of my friend being single, but it does help. Like it really did help. I would say it even helped to maybe realise a lot and just see someone come out of something very similar in a way, and like be okay and be happy, and like yeah, it helped. Like I'm not gonna lie, I'm not saying you and your mates go and plan to break up with your boyfriends at the same time, but it does help having people that are going through the same thing around you, and like obviously having some single friends, so like you can go out as a distraction. Block them, or not block them, but like you don't need them on your social media. You don't need to be seeing what they're doing. It's just better that way. I've always said it, like I remember when I was like younger, and if someone used to like ghost you or like never talk to you again, you'd think, oh my god, like this is so sad. But like I always said, I actually got over that person much quicker. So yeah, don't have them on your social media. Just focus on you, put everything into your, like, into you. Like I say, it does depend on the circumstance of the relationship. Obviously, if it wasn't your decision, if you are really upset about it, it's going to be a lot harder. But, like, don't put a time on how long you're going to heal. Like, some people get over it quickly, some people don't. There is no time. I feel like we were saying this the other day, like, I don't think there's, when it's an ex, I don't think there's ever going to be a time where you don't think about them in some sort of way. And that's not to say that you miss them. That's another big thing, like you're going to miss them, but like you've got to like realise, is it a miss of like company of someone there, or is it a miss of actually them? Like you have to see the difference in that. And you, like I say, you're always going to miss them, you're always going to think about them, but like I mean I'm like that anyway, but like there's always going to be things that remind you. It's like when you've got a friend, or when your family members, like if you see something and it'll remind you of that. You're always going to have that. If you've been with a person for a substantial amount of time and they've impacted your life in some way, you're always going to have that. So in that sense, you never really heal, but like eventually it'll get easier. Something will remind you of them and you'll think, okay, cool, and move on. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, just keep busy, keep away from what they're doing. Don't be stalking them, don't be turning up to where they're at. If anything, avoid where they're at, because that's just a recipe for disaster. And yeah, just surround yourself with good people, focus on yourself, and you will get over it in your own time. Do not judge it by anyone else's. If Sally from the road, down the road, gets over her boyfriend in 2 weeks, but you're still a year down the line struggling, like that's completely fine. Do you know what I mean? Fave thing about being single, just not having no, like, just like I get up, I'm happy. It's like, have you seen that meme where it's like going to bed knowing that no one's cheating on me? I mean, I never got cheated on, I'm not saying that, but like you know, like when they're just happy, like there's just no stress. And I think the fave thing for me is being with my friends. Sounds so like, oh, I'll be with my friends, but we genuinely have got so close. And like I said in the last video, we've always been close, but it is a different close when you're all single. I feel like we've just all gone back to being younger, and just like there was a point in my life where life was getting way too serious for my liking. And like, don't get me wrong, I'm like got my head screwed on. I know what I want. I do want to have serious things, but also I'm 22. Well, I'm going to be 23 very soon, but like I'm still very young in the grand scheme of things. And at one point it was just all getting too much. And I think when you're not actually happy as well, and all that stuff's going on, your life is like flashing before your eyes. So it all got a bit too much. So now being with my mates and being single and not having them worries, and just having a bit of a carefree stage in life, which is completely fine. I am going to be 23 and I have not really got much, do you know what I mean, in the sense that I'm not moved out, I'm not got savings really, I'm not like, do you know what I mean, like yes, I am at that stage, which is a little bit worrying, but also So what? I'm 23. It's nice just to have a little phase. Like, I will get over this phase, but going out 4 times a week at the moment is looking great for me. It's what I'm liking with my friends, and yeah, that's my favourite thing about it. I've always been a very serious person. I obviously did settle down quite like at a young age, and like I was moving towards them serious stages in my life, and I've always been like that. I've always been like, no, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. So it's actually been so nice to think, do you know what, fuck it, just I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna spend money, I'm gonna just wake up hungover 4 days out of the week. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it feels nice and refreshing for me. I will get over it, and I will be like, okay, I'm done now, like, let's go back to being serious. But right now, that's what I'm loving. Advice on moving on after a long-term relationship: you look happy and glowing. Oh, thanks. I've sort of just, I have touched on that about like moving on after a breakup. Long term, do you know what I actually think, and this might just be my experience in a way, I think when it's long term, sometimes it's actually easier. Because, like, okay, let me explain. So say, like, if you've been with someone a year, it's still very fresh, you're very much in love. I know this is going to sound really bad. You're very much in love. So if you was to break up after a year, I feel like it would hurt more, because it's like you've only just come out of that honeymoon stage, you're still very much in love. But when you've been in a long-term relationship, things change. People grow apart, and unfortunately, no one's fault, people check out way before they actually check out. So when you actually check out, you're not sad anymore, and it's horrible. It's horrible, because you think, oh my god, I've been with this person for so long and I'm not upset. Why am I upset? Like, is there something wrong with me? But I just think it's because you have been through so much, and little by little it just sort of chips away. And then, so when it actually comes to the breaking up part, you're actually okay. You're actually okay. You're, well, not okay, but like you're better than if you was a year down the line and like you've just got into this relationship, you've just gone through all the honeymoon stage, all the lovingness, and all of a sudden it's gone. Do you know, that's all I'm saying. Like, sometimes actually a long time, the only difference with a long-term thing is that like you had that long period of time where that one person was in your life and you knew no different, and like it's more scary. But in terms of actually like being upset, I feel like most people have checked out way before they actually check out, so you're actually okay. Does that make sense? Worst idea of a date? Oh god, I don't know. And this is actually another question that I've got, but like, is it different dating at 22? So I suppose I can tie them both in, because I wouldn't say I have dating experience, because like I say, I haven't been on a date since my breakup, and obviously 5 years of just like dating, I wouldn't really call it dating, and like at 17 when you're dating the person that you're talking to, is it really dating? I don't think it's really, like, it is so different, because like I know like back in like obviously before, when you have like situationships, let's say like at 16, 17, when you're with someone but like you're not actually boyfriend girlfriend, it's mainly just like you're in the same friendship group at school and like you're just like together and everyone knows that you're together, but like, do you know what I mean? But then you don't go on dates as such, because like we're so young. Obviously my last relationship, we dated before we got together, but again, like it wasn't dating, like serial dating. It was basically just like we'd met and we'd been on a few dates and then we'd boyfriend and girlfriend. Like, it was very different. So like, say like now, because I'm like older and 22 and not really looking for anything serious, but like happy to go on a few dates here and there, I feel like yes, it is very different. I feel like as you grow up as well, you realise that you can date, you can go on, like I always think like when you're younger, dating, if you're dating more than one person, like, oh my god, that's so bad. But like, isn't that the whole point of dating? Obviously to a certain extent, like as long as you're not selling people the dream or being like bad with your dating, but like the whole reason that you date people is to date people and see what you like and what you don't like, rather than picking one person, dating them and then going out with them and then that's it. Like, that to me now at 22 and being older sounds bizarre to me. Like, I remember when I was younger, if I was talking to 2 people, I was like, oh my god, I can't do it, and I'd just pick one. But like now, obviously, again, not without me sounding bad, like I'm not like talking to all these different people, but like that's the whole idea of dating. Like, you go on a date, you see if you like her, blah blah blah, like, and you date. Like, that's the whole point of dating. I know I've said date about 100 times, but do you know what I mean? So, but I think that comes with being older. Like, dating at 22 is so different. Like, obviously as well, like, just little things. Like, obviously at 17 I did drink, but like, not, obviously I wasn't legally allowed to drink. So like now, like, I'd just go and get a drink with someone, and that would be like a date, and then that might be it. Like, do you know what I mean? I had a drink, didn't really like them, whatever. Like, and that's fine, and that's the difference of being 22. So my idea of a worst date, so that was a complete different tangent, but worst date, I think it would just be if it was just too much. Just where like everything's like planned. Like, obviously, don't get me wrong, I want someone to say, look, we're going here, I'll pick you up at this time, blah de blah. Love that. Yes, I want them to take control, blah blah, but I mean like going to like a fancy restaurant and like just it just being too datey, like too much. Like, I think that's something that you do when you're actually in a relationship or a few dates down the line. That is not a first date. Like, for me, a first date is just like getting a drink, seeing how the vibe is. If the vibes get better, then you up the ante, then you like, you know, then you get to the bit where it's like a full-blown like romantic meal. Like, don't get me wrong, I love my food, I like nice restaurants and stuff, so be happy to eventually go to them. But for a first date, like, I just feel like there's so much pressure. But then maybe that is because I am so fresh into it. Like, the thought of it scares me. Like, sitting across a table, say like you are that person, no, like, I just can't, not right now. I'm just not ready for that. Thoughts on getting comfortable when in a relationship, good or bad? So this can be bad. Like, of course you want to be comfortable with your significant other, you do, and you shouldn't have to feel like you are. It's a really thin line between having to feel like you're constantly trying to impress someone, or like you can't relax because you're always on edge trying to make that person happy. Like, yeah, you want to be comfortable to a certain extent, but then I feel like people get way too comfortable, and it's, yeah, I think once you get to the point where they're too comfortable and you're telling them that they're too comfortable, I think it's hard to come back from it, because they will then get uncomfortable for about a month and then they'll go back comfortable, and then, like, do you know what I mean? Like, unless they're willing to be the same throughout, but like, I feel like that you have to keep an even comfortableness throughout the relationship. Some people go full out when they're trying to date you and win you over and like become boyfriend and girlfriend. They do it so much that then after that it's like, oh wow, right, okay, we've literally gone like that, and then it's, you're always going to compare it to how they was at the beginning, so it's very hard to live up. I think just a smooth transition throughout, where you, same for both, it's not just the boy trying to impress the girl. Like, obviously we like to impress as well. Like, I think just the line is that you obviously, you don't want to be too comfortable where you're not giving shit about them, and like all the time, like this is what frustrates me, it's always the smallest things. It's the smallest things that are so easy to not do and not be comfortable with, but they always seem to be really comfortable with. But then, yeah, you want to feel like, you don't want to feel like you're still on edge a year down the line and still trying to impress that person like all the time. You need to be comfortable and relaxed, and it should just be easy. And that's what I've always said, like with relationships, it should be easy. And if it starts to become uneasy, then it's just not gonna work, and it's very hard to get it back. Although you keep trying, once it's gone, it's gone, and that's the sad thing. Biggest ick when dating someone new. So the girls are the absolute worst. Like, I'm not bad with icks, okay? Like, in a sense that people do things and like the girls like, oh my god, that's so icky. I'm like, is it that bad? Like, don't get me wrong, some people do things and I'm like, oh, don't do that. But I think, right, okay, this is it's really hard because there's like borderline for everything, and like a lot of, like, I said this a lot about icks. It wouldn't be icky if you liked the person. This is the thing. Like, say if I do look back to my relationship, there were things that he probably done that was very icky, but when you're in love with someone, they're not icky. Do you know what I mean? So I think it does depend on the person and whether they do things and then you're like, ick. But for me, when dating someone new, and it's really bad because you should want them to be keen, but it's like when they're too keen. But like, oh, it's really hard to explain things about like giving anything away or any examples. Just by being like too much, and especially with me at the moment, because like I said, I'm not looking for anything serious. I'm not looking for a boyfriend, and like if you're coming on too strong, and like I clearly have said like I'm having a hot girl summer, like again, not because like it's gonna make me sound really bad, but not because of the reasons some people might be thinking, but like I don't want to get in a situationship where I'm like gotta consider someone else's feelings. I'm sorry, I've done it for too long, okay? I'm gonna be blunt to the point. I don't want to be doing that, right? I've done it for too long. I want to just be going out, doing what I want to do, having my fun. Do you know what I mean? Without sounding bad. So if someone's coming on a bit too strong, I'm like, nah, no, sorry, ick. Like, oh, and actually today, so I've been saying to the girls, really funny, like, again, can I say it? I don't know. Basically, at the gym, might be someone. And by I mean someone, we've never had a conversation in a sense of like we've not had a conversation. This is just me being stupid at the gym. But I keep saying to the girls, and I'm like, he defo fancies me. Because he said to me, good work. Do you know what I mean? It's one of them, like, I'm just bantering him. But like, so I'd said that, and then today I'd been to the gym and I got the ick so bad. I was like, oh no, I've jinxed it. Like, the other day I'm going, oh yeah, defo fancies me. Like, and obviously, I think it's more the fantasy of it being like the gym, you know? And then today I was just like, oh my god, why are you acting like that? You're giving me the ick. And it was just like, not even things that were bad. It was just normal stuff, but it was just over the top today, and I was just like, I've been given the ick. I'm gutted. Just told the girls, and now I've been given the ick. So yeah, I think the ick really is the weirdest thing ever, and I don't even think half the time it's anything to do with that thing. I think it's the person. Like I said, I think if you like that person, you could do whatever and I wouldn't find you icky. But if I'm wearing off you or like not really vibing you, you're gonna be icky, and that's really horrible to say, but that's just the bottom line. Do you believe friends can be soulmates? Yes, 100%. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've had my fair share of friendships, which I mean is normal for everyone to have friends and lose friends, and do you know what I mean? But I think I can finally say I've got my friends. Yeah, I mean, all my friends, like I believe we're soulmates in a sense of we get each other. We don't like, I hate saying it because I feel like, well, we're tattooed now, so we can't fall out, but I feel like I jinx it. But yeah, I do think that friends can be soulmates. I think, and this is another thing, right, so this is another thing with like the dating thing. I was saying to the girls that I feel like I need to do it, because if I don't do it soon, I'm going to get in a rut of never doing it, because like just to like sort of get over that fear of going on a date and whatever, because I genuinely would just go out with the girls all the time. Like, I'd spend all the time with the girls. I feel like girls are so, like, there's such a misconception of like girls needing a man. Like and this is another thing that I've like, obviously when I've spoken to people, the boy will always move on quicker. Like, I'm not saying they have moved on, but like like they will move on quicker. Boys actually like depend on a girl more. I'm guarantee you, in most times you either get a boy that's like never gonna commit and they're known that they're never gonna commit, or they're a boy that likes to be in a relationship and they will 100% move on quicker. And like, there's such a misconception of the fact that girls depend on a man. Like, I literally do not need a man. I've got my friends, I've got my family, I've got myself, I'm having fun. Like, I don't need a man. And yeah, so friends can be my soulmates, for sure, for sure, for sure, for sure. But if I was stuck with the girls forever, I wouldn't mind, just as long as they don't. So that was my thing. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna have broken up with my boyfriend and then they're all gonna go get boyfriends and I'm then gonna be stuck by myself. So don't worry, I've been given every time they're like, I'm like, no, abort mission, hot girl summer, hun. Get your feelings and shove them down, please. I'm joking. If they really wanted to get a boyfriend, then I would allow it, but like, I just put them off. I'm like, ugh, why'd you want that? Just so that they stay with me. Red flags to begin with. Again, I feel like in hindsight, and again, this is no shade, this is not me saying, oh, I should have broken up with me ages ago, but signs were there, and you find that you argue over the same shit. So don't ignore the red flags at the beginning. If they do it in the beginning, give them one chance. And if they do it again, they're not going to change. Or not them, because I hate saying they've got to change, but the situation is not going to change. And do you know what? People will tell you this, and I'm sitting here telling you this, to don't ignore them, to don't give them all the chances, but you will, because I did. And do you know what? In hindsight, again, I don't regret that I didn't walk away when everyone was telling me to, if that makes sense. Like, people will tell you and you won't do it until you are ready, and that's fine, because actually if I hadn't have done it when I had decided that I'm ready to do it, I don't think I would have handled it the way I handled it, or dealt with it how I've dealt with it, because I was ready and I felt like I could do it. So all the times before when I didn't feel like that, I think it would have been a lot harder for me to do it. So yes, it's very frustrating when people tell you, and or like, say if you've got a friend and you're telling your friend and they're not listening to you, it's very frustrating. I know, like I said, I've been there with like telling my friends or them telling me, and you don't listen. But now I've been through it, I'm like, well, no, actually I'm glad I didn't listen. I'm glad I done it when I thought it was ready to do it, because I don't think it hurt as much, if that makes sense, because I was ready. And you will be ready. You will as horrible as it sounds, sometimes it's inevitable and it's gonna happen. It's just a ticking time bomb when you're ready to do it, and that's really sad to say, but that's again why you shouldn't avoid the red flags at the beginning. Yeah, one chance. I feel like this next person, if there is one, I won't do the chances anymore, because don't get me wrong, like I said, I don't regret it, because I feel like it was still our journey and whatever, but the thing that we broke up over is probably what we argued in the first year, so it is never gonna change, and I don't think I would give the chances again. And vice versa, like I wasn't perfect either. Like I'm not doing this to shade anyone. Like, we both just didn't work. Do you know what I mean? Was you scared to meet other boys? Did you forget how to flirt? Like, there's a lot of things like this. It's a bit like riding a bike. I mean, I'm joking. I'm joking. No, I was scared. I still am. Like I say, I've not been on a date, and obviously that's really not like, it's a scary thought to go on a date. But like, to talk and meet other boys, obviously when I was in a relationship I still had boy mates. I'd still go out and like talk to boys, obviously not in the same way as I'm talking now or whatever, but like you would see people that you know. It's very different with my area because everyone knows everyone, and you go out and you do talk to your mates or people that you know, and it's not like that. So you're still essentially doing the same sort of thing, but obviously it's just different when you like appear out of nowhere after 5 years, like the three of us, and everyone's like, why are you here, like you're single now? And we're like, yeah. And then obviously the situation changes, like, don't get me wrong, and like I think you just come naturally. I think like you, yeah, it does just come naturally. I think again, like if you, it depends. Like I could flirt with someone really easily because we get on, but then if like I'm not vibing with someone, like I'm like, I don't even know what to say to you, and then I feel like I go all like shy and stuff, but it's just because you don't vibe with that person, you don't get on. So it's not necessarily about you forgetting how to flirt, it's just like you just don't obviously click. Like if you click with someone, it will come naturally to just be a bit flirty and stuff. But yeah, like I say, obviously with my area, I was always like meeting boys, but not like that, but like everyone knows everyone, so you'd go out, you'd speak, so it's not much different. Obviously it's like when you say you're single, that then it might take a turn, but you just ride the wave. I just go along with it. And do you know what, if you make yourself sound stupid or you do something stupid, don't worry, because most of the time they actually don't even care. I think we get in our heads more about it, but like they don't actually care. Like I've done things and I'm like, why did I just say that, why did I do that? And they don't even take any notice. They just like laugh it off or whatever, or they find you funny. Just act dumb. That's what I do. Do you and your friends have the same type? No, we actually don't. There's 3 of us, and I can't say we're competing for any boys. I mean, I'd say mine and Taylor's type can sometimes, well, I don't have a type, so that's another one. I don't have a type, like, and I know everyone says that, but like I genuinely don't. And like even the girls say like I don't, like, okay, everyone's type changes. Yeah, like I feel like type is a very weird thing. Like I feel like people can say they have a type, but then it does change. Like some of my friends, like they have a type, and a very clear type. We know their type, but then they've been with people obviously that's not their type. Do you know what I mean? But like no, so I'd say Lily and Taylor have more of a specific type. But like going with my like track record, I don't have a type. The girls even say it to me, like, don't have a type, and that's not because like I'll just talk to anyone, but I'm a very, and again it's cliche, like it's all about personality, but genuinely for me it is a personality thing. I like, if you was to line up everyone that I've ever thought was attractive or spoken to, there would be a mixture of people, because it's just, if I click with you, like I will go for someone, like I could say like if there's a group of people, I could say right, that one's the most attractive, but like I'd end up talking to that one because and then they'd become the most attractive because like our personalities have like clicked, and like I'm very much a personality person. Like if you got the chat, then I'm good. Like I'm not a looks person. Obviously you have to find them attractive, but I don't, it's not like blonde hair, blue eye. Do you know what I mean? I like a dark hair, I like a blonde, I like a blue-eyed, brown-eyed, green-eyed. Do you know what I mean? I like them all. No, I'm joking. I just don't have a type. Like I would not be able to tell you my type right now. The girls would not. Like if the girls had to pick me a person, they wouldn't be able to, because they'd have to like see if we can talk to each other first. So we don't argue over boys. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. We wouldn't anyway, but like we don't have the same type, so it's great. Right, okay, I feel like I've spoken for a while, so we're gonna do one more, and then yeah, that will conclude the boy talk. So the last one is like how to deal with competition, trusting again, like I suppose insecurities and stuff. Again, last relationship, obviously again it depends how your last relationship ended. Thankfully I think I can say like the trust, well, like to my knowledge the trust was never broken. I don't think it was, do you know what I mean? But it would be very awkward if it had been, and I was that naive. No, I'm joking. So like I'm not going coming out of a relationship where like the trust was broken, and obviously because if that was the case it would be very hard to trust again. But I do feel like single life does make you question how like ever find someone again. And like, again, not because anything has necessarily happened, but like we go out and we see things like, and I'm like, was I naive all along? Like, was I that stupid? So people act like that when they've got boyfriends. Was my boyfriend acting like that when I've got a boyfriend? Because although you're not technically cheating, it's not okay. And then I'm like, men are trash. What how am I ever gonna find someone? I think, yeah, and I said it to my sister and she was like, when I was single, I said the exact same thing. You actually find it worse being single and seeing what people do, and then you think, how are you ever going to trust again? But I've always said it, you have no control over it. As horrible as that sounds, you have no control over it. Like, if they're going to do it, they're going to do it. Most of the time people do it when they're happy and actually like got no reason. Well, no one's ever got a reason to cheat, I'm not saying that at all, but like there's no reason to. Half the time they're just like they're just that kind of person, and you have no control over that type of person. You can't do anything. You can't lose sleep over it, because like I say, if they're gonna do it, they're gonna do it, whether you know or not, whether like nothing you do is gonna change them. They can have the most, take Made in Chelsea for instance, Harvey and Emily. What did Emily do? Nothing. Was she beautiful? Was she, do you know what I mean? Was she all the things that he could ever dream of? Is he regretting it straight away? Yeah, but he's that type of guy and he's gonna do it anyway. So no matter what you do, that if they're gonna do it, they're gonna do it. So you just gotta not stress over it. Yeah, I just think you will. And like, when I think back to obviously getting in my last relationship, obviously I was younger, so I don't think I had really any like experience or like trust issues or whatever. So maybe it would be different this time round, because like I say, I know what boys are like now and things like that. But I'm just a believer in that they'll do it if they're going to do it, and there's nothing that you can do. So you can't like try and change yourself or stress yourself out or lose sleep over it. If you give it your all and you're a good person, blah blah blah, then they shouldn't. And I think it's a good judge of character. Like I say, it's a certain type of person if they wanted to put like someone through that. So as long as you've got a good judge of character when you're first dating that person, then I feel like you'll be okay. But like competition, that if they don't want me, see you later, get in the queue or leave the queue. The queue's coming. Do you know what I mean? I'm joking. But like competition, that's another thing. Like if they like you, they like you, and they'll show you that they like you. You can't force someone to show that they like you. And if they don't, more their loss, and jog on, see you later. You just got to roll with it. Obviously easier said than done sometimes when you do like a person, but just always have multiple options. that way you're always like, okay, do you know what I mean? No, I'm joking. I'm so joking. I feel like I've had a drink before this. I feel like I have maybe baited myself out a little bit and spilled a little bit of juicy tea. No, I'm joking. It's all a bit of fun, guys. Single life is fun. I'm just gonna sip my drink a second. But yeah, on that note, I'm gonna stop talking before I ruin myself even more. Let's hope no one watches this. No, I'm joking. I hope you all watch it and I hope you liked it. Yeah, boy talk, friendships, it's a crazy thing. So anyway guys, that is the video. That is me. I'm gonna shut up now, stop rambling, stop baiting my life out. But yeah, if you enjoyed, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys. Mwah.